This man was on the floor 3 times in exactly 30 minutes of the weekend so far for the number 90. Matt Burt, Lewis Sotheby alongside me in the commentary box with Simon Craven. And this man, well, he's been the super
chaotic qualifying session and blissfully
end of that Q2 session was this together. Jorge Martin's ideal lap was a clear pole position.
From you before we all go out to the grid on how to
keep the rain tire as the majority of the ride. Unfortunately, we start P18. Just made this chassis with this company. A points that is to be
Grand Prix coming the way of Taka Nakagami tomorrow. 18th he starts on the grid. Binder that did go for the slick tyre.
This weekend have been at the end of the main straight into the 40 mile an hour to the final couple of lefts.
So we just saw there then Pecco Bagnaia on Super Saturday, on Sprint Saturdays, 56 points.
Of course, he needs to give a little bit of a nod and a thanks to his teammate as in qualifying. Of course, this Tissot sprint over 15 laps. It might be crucial what happens at the start. If Jack Miller
placed in the grid, best qualifying for him in 11 Grand Prix. Racing, Luca Marini starting from that career best second place. Pablo Nieto with Simon.
He is Pablo. The weather's bad luck with yellow flags, and Luca Marini
really fast. But anyway, I think it's really important to our medium in the front rear, in the front.
Cool and chilly and windy it was here in this part.
We get the yellow flag due to the crash off, so no big issue.
The Bull Catering Factory Racing RC16 on the front row for the second.
Yeah, I mean, nobody knows about the pace.
Coming from the back of that third row.
And Aleix Espargaro comes from so far this season, who once again came to this weekend carrying team.
Just caught a quick glimpse there of Jorge Martin. Last year's German Grand Prix winner Fabio Quartararo. Just give him a little minute board, goes up at the front of the grid. The safety second time on the as he looks to build on a 21 point. We are set then. 15 laps is our 7th. You feel could be real pivotal. You've got to stay clear.
Him from that front row on the fast starting KTM. We spoke to option with the temperatures climbing up to as high as we've had really, and Taka Nakagami.
Tree in his back pocket. This is a different tale as well. Marco Bezzecchi then. He put 2 or 3 laps when Bagnaia was so good coming up that way at the end of this 15-lap sprint. Still sidelined after his series crash in Portimao. Saxon ring sprint here. Luca Marini got a really good start for 2 Ducatis. Bagnaia will go the long way round the as indeed he sweeps up the inside of Miller. Bagnaia in position A.
Marco Bezzecchi there, 3 abreast there into turn 4.
Yeah, that was Marini and Mark. Already picked up 2 spots in the first 7 corners. He started 7th.
Gets alongside Bagnaia out of picture. Miller back in front. All
years ago, they shared the factory Ducati garage for a couple of years. 40 kilometers an hour through that turn number 8. Here comes the fast starting, the hard
bad starter on that first lap was Fabio Quartararo, down 3 from 12.
That stop, he's not going to get that stop. And Miller and Martin, Bagnaia, Martin and Marini in that very tight narrow.
Victory, so watch out behind this trio of Ducatis. Here comes Brad Binder.
Thought about showing Bagnaia his front wheel as they drop down through turns.
So Marini and Martin, should I say, looking to impatient.
Into that turn, Bagnaia just slams the door shut. Yeah, he's gone really wide, hasn't he, there, into that first corner in space of 30 minutes in qualifying this morning.
He lost us already this weekend, haven't they? Famously yesterday, so there's a little bit of a gap, bit of clear track. Can he bring himself, and crucially Marquez, into the fray?
In this new era, the Tissot Sprint in 2023, the only bad inside line, beautifully done. Line that up, coming through that high speed. 15 then now in 3rd.
He got such a good slingshot, didn't he? Well, isn't he? He's sent it at the inside of Bagnaia once again.
Yeah, Martin, as they drop down through the second corner. Kiko has regrouped from a poor first couple laps. You can just see it now out of your picture.
Frenetic action at this sprint. Bagnaia knows if he doesn't deal with Miller quickly, he'll have
Marco Bezzecchi alone in that second split. They now through turn number 11. That's just in team, brilliant move on the inside of both Miller and Bagnaia. This was really close there, wasn't it, as well, between Martin and Miller.
Where do you look? Miller was trying to keep the inside line, but it is now a leading group of 7 at the front. They're covered by
the Michelin front tyre on there. The only riders currently. Better early performance in this sprint. That's what's bringing them back. How good Martin is. The corner speed he's able to carry through turns 8. Miller in 2nd.
We've already seen where Miller's vulnerable on this lap. So Bagnaia through into 2nd place. Marini
through that 3rd split. Martin was nearly half a second clear. Because Martin is asking big questions here. 18 trying to make his clinical clear braking.
To stretch this out, Bagnaia through the first sector was
out of Bagnaia on this 6th lap. He is starting to check out here. He got through on the 6 corners, maybe knowing that Miller will be holding potentially.
I was just about to say, it's been a shocking sprint for Marc Marquez so far. He lost
here. He's just set another fastest lap of this full second over the line. The gap between the top, a smidgen under 2 seconds. Marco Bezzecchi's just a second slower than Pecco Bagnaia, so Bezzecchi
on that GP23. Marc Marquez down in 10th position, made any progress either, still in 13th.
Jonas Folger's then disappointment for him in his respects. There's confirmation of Folger, his retirement from this sprint over the line. That's 4, but once again, it's 3/10 slower than the brilliant Martin.
Sort of territory at the moment. Bagnaia looks like he's got the measure of one of those looking to make progress in that second group, particularly given that championship.
Pre-weekend in the pre-event press conference, he's not finished lower than 4th in the last 2 seconds. This was the key moment. Look at this on the inside of both Mick after all the rain we've had over the last couple of days. But
who's still trying as he might to hold off this group, led by Marini. Big
sprint podium in 7, and Pecco Bagnaia, of course, enjoying this new sprint era, aren't they? Martin again, Marc Marquez, who's having a pretty good tussle at the moment with.
I'd love to know the thoughts going on in Marc Marquez's helmet right now. We symbol anger and frustration. Marc Marquez this is uncharted than Martin is going at the front.
And tomorrow it's continue his golden run here. A gold medal certainly coming the way of Martin, sweeping out of turn number 13. There is Martin, stretched out now, isn't it? He's internally 9/10 clear of Miller, who's got that at 1.8.
John Zarco got it all wrong there into turn 1 at 4th place. Bezzecchi just hasn't had the pace of the group ahead of him.
Has Binder trying to find a way through, trying to force the ring, but he gets in hot. He was briefly through on Marini.
Vinales goes down. That really does sum up Maverick.
And he's bailed out at that first corner. What about Binder now? Is there room on the inside of Marini this time into 30?
To outbreak him and going over it once again, then into
lap on it. Any stage coming into this sprint. Just some quick thoughts on
box, and it wouldn't go. These things drop out of the power in a panic, trying to get it back in a low enough gear for it to accelerate.
Yeah, good spot, that real good observation to explaining the early dramas for Johan Zarco about Marc Marquez. This is a humbling experience, isn't it? Marc Marquez, he's nearly a second slower than the race leader Jorge. Can he put it up on the brakes? He's going in hot again. He's not going to make the apex, and I'll just ease back on the inside.
At the moment, I think Brad Binder will know now where he's strong. More open for the South African. No, he slams it shut again.
He's one, and now he's under pressure here from Zarco. Zarco coming for 13 this morning, but somehow Luca Marini is hanging on to that 4th. Right, but still Marini hangs in there. He holds on to 4th.
Has now gone. I'm convinced that Brad Binder's finish line is just over that crest on the outside of the final.
82nd lap here in the Saxon Ring from the world's best riders. Martin, it has been a stunning performance by him. He's to take 4th place.
Oh,
here comes Zarco.
Oh!
In the Grand Prix here last year, Brad Binder just gets nerved. Great in Germany for the Martinator. He's our sprint winner here from Pecco Bagnaia. And on the drag race, the finish race, Zarco takes 5th. After his circuit and a miserable day, a miserable week. That's a crushing afternoon for Marc Marquez. Smile, 2 wins in the last